am having, Mac.
When we first saw footage of Princess Peach in the Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer, a lot of people were concerned that this Princess Peach would not match the game adaptation of the character and would be a very woke version of Princess Peach, something that people really did not want to see. However, after seeing the movie, I can firmly say this Princess Peach works way too good. In this video, I'm not going to be talking about Game Peach in comparison to Movie Peach, because I actually already did make a video talking about why the two Peaches are actually very similar and how they're different as well, and if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go check that out. But I actually was making this video basically as a follow-up to that video because, you know, that video was made before the actual movie released, and I was kind of basing all of my thoughts pretty much on what I had seen so far. But after seeing the movie, I can firmly say that this movie really does a great job with Princess Peach, and even though it really doesn't lean into the game adaptation all that much, it really does still feel like Peach, and also the reason why she is the way she is feels so natural. Now, as opposed to saying, you know, Peach feels good because she does, I actually want to elaborate on my thoughts and really get it all fleshed out. So, one of the first things that people had an issue with regarding this Princess Peach was that she felt like she was, I don't know, too strong might be the right word to say. Like, almost as if strong enough where she really didn't even need Mario's help in the first place. But I think the movie sets it up in such a way where it's like, yeah, Princess Peach doesn't need Mario, but Mario is there for an alternative reason. He's not there because Peach needs him per se, but more so because he wants to be there, and he needs to save his brother Luigi. Dissecting the characters' motives is really important because it helps you understand the way they are and why they act the way they do. Like I said, the entire motive for Mario in this movie is trying to save Luigi. It's not saving the Mushroom Kingdom up until the very end, basically. Or at least until he learns more about this kingdom and starts to really appreciate all of the people who are around him. Donkey Kong's motive in the beginning, more so for him, is trying to appease his father. He wants to make sure that his father knows him as more than just a smash monkey, as they say in the movie. And then characters like Toad, he just wants to go on an adventure, and I guess that's really it. We don't really get a whole lot from Toad outside of that. But when it goes to characters like Peach, her entire motive is saving her kingdom. She's even trying to make this clear when she tries to find a way to basically work together with the Kongs, a army that's pretty much impossible to work with, because Cranky Kong doesn't really do alliances. Now that we've defined Peach's motives, I think it's important to really understand why she is the way that she is. And I think in order to do that, we have to look at the kingdom that she's supposed to be the princess of, the Mushroom Kingdom. As we can see from just, you know, the movie itself, and also if you study the lore at all, the Toads really aren't very helpful. They're pretty much useless. Even in the first, you know, Mario Bros. Game, they were always the ones saying your princess in another castle, and I love how that was used in the movie. But either way, it's important to remember here that the Toads are pretty much defenseless. They don't really do anything aside from, well, scream. And this is even made clearer when Peach has her first encounter with the main character Toad that we see in the movie, where she basically says, like, oh wow, a Toad who wants to go on an adventure and fight, then yeah, you're definitely going to come with us. And he doesn't go through any training at all. She just kind of like accepts it. And Mario's a little flabbergasted, like, what? He didn't have to do any training? Alright, but either way, that helps us really understand why Peach is the way that she is. She's this strong militant character because she has to be. All the other Toads in the Mushroom Kingdom appear pretty weak aside from the main character one. And even then, I don't even think he's all that strong either. He just wants to explore and go on adventure. And you're probably thinking, well, okay, that doesn't make any sense. The Toads have to be at least somewhat strong considering they're the ones that taught Peach the training montage. And I think you are right to a certain extent. Like, yeah, the Toads did teach her that. But, I mean, I guess my retort to that is, well, coaches don't play. Like, yeah. I mean, you can teach someone how to do something without really knowing how to do it yourself. You might just like have an idea about how to do it and know how a certain thing is supposed to go, but you might not know how to do it yourself, and that's what Peach was able to do. So I think that serves as a pretty good explanation for why the Toads were like this and why Peach was like this in this movie. But, I mean, let's talk about other scenes too, like where Princess Peach was training Mario and what she said at the end about how she got on the first try. Well, okay, I think in Peach's defense, like, she grew up here. Like, she even says this herself. Like, she grew up here. She's known this area basically her entire life. Actually, all of her life. Her earliest memory is basically showing up in the Mushroom Kingdom. So, she doesn't even know who her parents are or where she's from outside of the Mushroom Kingdom. So, I think when you basically get acclimated to the area and you're grown up there, you kind of just figure out how to do things on your own, even without really doing it. And that's why Mario was such a novice at this, because I think he's around, like, 25 or so. I mean, his age isn't confirmed, but, like, his entire life was spent in Brooklyn, the real world, doing like plumbing or wrecking crew stuff with Spike. But when he had to transition and do all of this crazy jumping and maneuvering with power-ups and whatnot, of course he was completely out of it. Like, why would he know how to do that as well as Peach? And I think that's why this whole, encounter exists in the first place. Peach is supposed to teach Mario how to do this. And honestly, I think it works really well because I cannot think of a better character to do this. Going back to the whole idea of what I said earlier, where I said basically that Peach didn't need Mario, that was true at that time. I do want to make that clear because I think obviously towards the end of the movie where she's captured and same with DK, they're basically just pinned down, Mario and Luigi are the ones who have to kind of save everyone using the superstar. But even then, with her original plan, Mario was not calculated in that. She wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need someone to show up right now. Like, that's just not how it was. Whereas in the games, it's basically like that, where Peach is just kind of like praying that someone will come and save her, and that someone was Mario, or is Mario. So with all of that information in mind, I can confidently say that Princess Peach works well in the Mario movie. Now, I do want to make it clear that that is my argument. I'm not saying that Princess Peach was good in this movie. I'm not saying that this characterization is the best Peach there is, because I think you're allowed to have your own opinion. You could easily say that I wish they made Peach like she was in the games, and I mean, that's your own opinion, but I don't think you can really dispute the fact that Peach worked well in this movie because of the way the plot set it up for her to work. It's basically as if she was built for this plot, and I think that's why this character works so well. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below on Princess Peach as far as the movie goes, or the game version, or basically any facet of the movie. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. That said, it is Sign signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?